Hey guys, it is Lamchops99 here, and I'm bringing you a question and answers video. And basically, last giveaway video, I asked you to post some of your questions on my YouTube video, and then I would answer them for this video. So that's basically what I'm doing. So I chose around 25 to 30 questions. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to answer this video, but I put some gameplay in the background that I played with my friend. And you'll basically get to watch that while I answer some of these questions, so you're not totally bored with all these questions. So here we go. I'm just gonna start off. So how did you get big on YouTube? So I guess a few people asked me this already, and I kind of had the same question myself. How I got big on YouTube? When I first started, I guess this YouTube channel, it wasn't really to actually get popular at all or to even make money. It was just to kind of get trades for my trade day, and I felt like I wasn't getting enough trades before I started making YouTube videos, and I thought that maybe if I started posting up trade blocks, I would maybe get some more exposure to my name at least, so people would trade me more. It was first to start off to just post up videos on the EA forum, where I can actually show everybody my trade block instead of actually posting every single player and price up on there. I thought just showing a video would be a lot easier, and then I started posting on YouTube. And then eventually I got shoutouts from a few people like XTechNHL and Halo Diego 1509, and they basically shouted me out in the beginning. And that's kind of how I started getting popular. A lot of people just started liking and subscribing, and then eventually I had more subscribers than XTechNHL himself. We kind of started at around the same time, but it just turned out that I got more subscribers, and then I don't know, it just kind of ended up like that. And I'm kind of thankful that these people helped me out, because obviously my channel wouldn't have grown that much if they didn't help give me some shoutouts. So thanks to them. If you want, you can subscribe to them. And yeah, so on to the next question. What's your favorite hockey memory? So I'm not sure if you're talking about NHL or if you're talking just about my life. But in my life, I've played hockey before. And my favorite hockey memory, I played since I was in kindergarten. And I remember the first goal I ever scored was, I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I remember scoring that first goal, celebrating, and my mom watching me. She actually videotaped that goal. I remember replaying it 4 or 5 or 40 to 50 times of that same clip over and over again of me scoring. And I remember just how happy I was that after like 30, 40 games of playing just tyke, or whatever you call it, the little kid league, scored my first goal. I was definitely not the best player on the ice, but getting that first goal, I was cherry picking the whole time, so I kind of learned some bad habits in hockey, but I kind of quickly fixed that during my final years of hockey. At least maybe 2-3 years in, my coach told me not to cherry pick, so that's kind of how I got. That's my favorite hockey memory, at least. So 24 Miners asked, who is your favorite player to use in NHL 13? So I think that one's kind of tough. I like playing with a lot of players. There's no one individual that I like to play with, but if I were to pick one, it would probably be Star of the Week Havlat. Just because he is a boss in this game. Just the size and his speed. He's kind of like the perfect player that I like in the game. I like Marlowe as well, but his way he skates, he has not that much agility. Not as much as Havlat. Like, Havlat can easily turn corners and stuff, and that's why I like Havlat. He's a very slippery player, and that's kind of why I like him better than Marlowe. What other players do I like? I like Ovechkin, I guess, but once you get into those higher end players, you find out like they're not better than some of those low end players. I know I used to love the line Dubinsky, Alfredson, and I forgot who I played on the left wing. I think it was Joffrey Lupul, and I loved that line for the longest time, for like 3-4 months. And then when I started getting to those higher end players, I started to realize it's not that much different than just regular players. Like, all those stats you see on the card, it really depends on who you like as a player. It's not because of their stats. Like, you can have a team of your Kunitz, but he might not be that good, even though he's maybe 5-6 points higher than maybe an Alfredson. So just play with the players that you like in the game, and just you gotta find out yourself. Try out every single player as NHL 13 winds down and player prices get cheaper. You might want to try out some players before they end, so you can always try them out. And we're gonna go on to the next question. And this one gets asked a lot, but DustyDo18 asked, "What are you gonna do for NHL 14?" So a lot of people ask this question all the time, and I think I'm not gonna do NHL 14. When I first started this YouTube channel, it was just kind of recreational. It wasn't to make money or get a job or spend some or use my spare time to do NHL 14 or try to get popular. It was just to get trades. And NHL 14, I'm going to university next year. That's like an hour to 2 hours away. I'm living in residence, so I'm not gonna have that much opportunity to play NHL 14. My brother and I actually talked about it, playing NHL 14, or whether I'm gonna keep continuing my YouTube channel. And when I think about it, I'm not gonna have that much time. My brother might buy NHL 14 for himself just to play it if it gets good reviews, but other than that, I don't think I'm gonna go into playing NHL 14 or continuing the YouTube channel after. I might post some videos later if I need to, but I don't think I'm gonna do NHL 14. I'm not gonna post any HUT videos or anything like that, so you shouldn't really be expecting it. NHL 14, like I kind of want to take in the university experience in residence as much as I can. I don't want to be staying in my own dorm playing NHL 14 all the time. And I think you guys will understand that, like, when you get into my age, 18, 19 years old, like, you can't be always put priorities like video games over life. It just doesn't make sense. And we'll move on to the next question. Also, if that makes people mad, like, I can understand. Like, a lot of people do like my channel, and there's nothing I can really do about it. I just don't want to waste my time with NHL 14. I know I like it a lot, NHL 13, but sometimes I just gotta put things into priority, put things into perspective. Like, I can't play NHL 13 the whole time. Alright, so anyways, next question. Cats or dogs? So, probably just cats, just because I had a cat for like 7 years. And I've never had a dog before, but I think it would be pretty cool to own a dog just because they're more loyal. And they always say, a dog's a man's best friend. Like, I've had a cat. I bought it when I was actually going to Chinese school. I'm actually Chinese. And one day my mom just told me, okay, we can pick a cat and we'll bring it home. And that's kind of what happened. I bought a cat, found out I was allergic. And then, I've been suffering for like 5-6 years. Random allergy attacks. I would get pink eye, start sneezing all the time. And that's just kind of how it started, how I got a cat, and why I didn't get a dog. Dogs were a lot more expensive back then, and my family was cheap back then. So we just picked the cheapest animal. We actually had different animals. Like, we had fish, we had hamsters, which were like cannibals. They ate each other. I remember every time we came downstairs and looked in the cage, one of them were always bleeding, and it was pretty bad. So we kind of quit having hamsters. They got out of the cage, and we found it dead one day, both of them at the same time. So that's kind of what happened. And then we kind of moved into snails, and that was a nightmare. We basically got one giant snail, or two giant snails. I think they are asexual species, or whatever they are. And then they start reproducing like crazy. They were like, we had at one point like millions of snails in our fish tank, and we couldn't get rid of them, so we just had to pour them outside, and that was pretty disgusting because it smelled really bad. Don't ever get a snail or own a snail. It's a terrible animal to have. And so we just stuck with cats, and we also got a cat because our next door neighbor always told us, or we always took care of their cats. So we always kind of like cats in a way, so that's why we do own a cat. Anyways, next question. How long did it take you to get 1,000,000 pucks in the game? It's hard to pinpoint where I exactly got 1,000,000 pucks, like, or when I got 1,000,000 pucks, because a lot of times I had a lot of like consumables, a lot of change teams, and that's kind of what, like, when I started selling the change team cards, then I kind of knew that I had 1,000,000 pucks when I got rid of everything. But I think it would be around, I would think, let me just look at the calendar, probably around January, around 3-4 months after NHL 13 came out. Like, first 2-3 months I didn't even play HUT. I got on it on and off. I played with my brother. We kind of built a team, but most of the time we were just playing just all the different game modes, like shootout, like Xbox Live. We played just play nows, and that's kind of what happened. And then just when I got into Hut, I really got hooked onto it, and then that's how I started making money in the game. So that's kind of how I started making a million pucks around January or when. Um, Ever since then, it's always been easy to make pucks. Like it never really occurred to me how hard it was, and my throat's really dry, so I'm gonna get a drink of water right now. So sorry about that. All right. So how old are you? I already told you. I'm 18, turning 19 in January. A lot of people think that I'm like younger because my username's Lamchops99. A lot of people think that the 99 is the year I was born in, but it wasn't. I'm born 95 of January, so I'm 18 years old. So what do you like to do in your spare time? I like to play guitar. I like to go bowling. I like to spend time with friends. You know, what most people do in their spare time, I guess. I know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, so I solve Rubik's Cubes in my spare time, I guess. So, what made you start YouTube? I don't really know what made me start YouTube. I think I already kind of said it, like, just to post on the forum. Just so it was easier to post to the people I used to talk to on the forum, showing them my trade block. And that's kind of how it started. And then it just so happened that people liked the trade day results as well. Like, I wasn't planning to do the trade day results because I wasn't able to find a way to record it. But in the beginning, if you watch one of my first videos, it's not me who's holding the camera, it's actually my brother. And that's kind of how it started. He just held the camera and I would check the trade results. And then I kind of found a tripod. Before I even had a tripod, I couldn't find it at one point, so I had to use books. So I stacked on top like 15-20 books on my kitchen table, and I recorded the gameplay on my TV. And that was pretty weird. I know a lot of people outside were able to see me, so I kind of switched to a tripod. It looked a bit more normal, I guess. So that's what I did for the longest time, and then I got my Dazzle, like you guys know. So that's kind of how I moved into the Dazzle. So let me keep going here. What made you start YouTube? Yeah, same thing. Do you play hockey? Yeah, I played hockey since I was a kid, since kindergarten, I think. So it's been quite a while. Let me think. At least when I first started hockey, like I first had skating lessons when I was before even kindergarten, like 4 or 5 years old, and then I kind of moved into the little type like hockey, whatever, and then I played that for the longest time. And then I kept on moving on. I never missed a year until around this year I stopped playing hockey, I guess. So 2013. So around I started playing hockey at around year 2000. So I've been playing hockey for about 13 years. I've been captain, assistant captain for my hockey team like a lot of times. I played rep at one point, but my family was too busy for that, so I always stayed at just red. I'm not sure if you guys know like the color coordinates. Like green is the easiest, blue is probably a little bit higher, white is a bit higher, and then red's the highest in the I don't know what to call it. I guess probably the easier leagues, and then you get into rep. And then I only played rep for 1 year, and then I went back down to red. So I've been playing red for at least 11 years. So that's kind of how it started. And ever since I started playing A or rep when I was a kid, it kind of made me the best player when I went back down to red. So it's always been pretty fun playing in red, knowing that I was better than most people. So next question. Why don't you ever play online games anymore? And that's a question a lot of people ask me as well. Why I don't record video games or video game play? So the reason why I can't record it is because I use the Dazzle, right? So before that, let me just say I had a camera, and it just wasn't fun. It wasn't good to record using my camera because sometimes it would randomly zoom. It didn't record. It picked up all the noise from outside, so to record 15-20 minutes of non-stop gameplay was pretty tough because a lot of people were walking around my house. So I never got to record gameplay. And then when I moved on to the Dazzle, the problem was it's not like a regular game recorder like HD PVRs like the Hauppauge or the Elgato, whatever you call it. It uses component cables, and when I tried connecting those component cables to my TV. It's actually a bit laggier than HDMI cable, like the transfer time to the TV back to the Dazzle, and I felt some game lag around half a second off. So if you really think about it, half a second off, it doesn't sound that much, but when you're actually playing a game, it's pretty tough to play with a half second lag. Like everybody else is much better than you, and having a half second lag, it's really not fun to play. I even tried recording 4 or 5 games of me playing online, but it wasn't possible. Like everybody had an upper hand advantage on me at least. Like I had to make half second choices before I took shots or I took a pass, so it wasn't fun at all. It was only fun until I played with my HDMI cable, where it started to get fun. So it's already getting to the 16-minute mark. I'll answer 1 or 2 more questions. What are you taking at McMaster? Probably a lot of people don't know this yet, but I'm taking business at McMaster. It's kind of, I guess, expected. I'm not sure if you think it's expected, but ever since I would say, a teenager, when I got into, I kind of got into business pretty early. Started making money early. I sold stuff on eBay before, and just business always interests me. Like I felt like, if you ever want to get rich in life, you have to go for business. Like, of course, you can be a doctor, you can be a whatever, but if you have that entrepreneurial spirit, it's not that hard to make money. Like, you can be a doctor, but you have to work super hard to get it. And just felt like business was always the easier way to get money. And yeah. So, Ethan L asked, why do you like the Leafs? Just my family always watched the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I just kind of got into it, kind of recently. Like, I never used to watch the Leafs, like when they were bad, like 3-4 years ago, when all their players were horrible, like when we still had Ponikarovsky and Antropov. Like I never watched the Leafs because they always sucked. But before that, my dad used to watch. Just recently, 2-3 years, I started watching the Leafs, and I've kind of gone to try to be a fan of the Leafs. So I started watching hockey. All right, so I got a drink of water, and just I like the Leafs. I don't know. I used to watch it, and that's kind of how I got into it. Just my family started watching it, and I kind of got into it. And you might find that hard to believe because I played hockey all my years. I never got into watching hockey, but I don't know. I just never got into watching hockey. I've always enjoyed playing hockey. I wasn't that fond of watching it. So, anyways. It's about 18 minutes into this video, so I think I'm going to end it around here and maybe answer some of these questions in the next video. I still have around 14-15 that I need to go through. I already answered 14-15 questions in this video, but post in the comments if there are any other questions you need to ask. I know this wasn't one of the best question and answer videos I've had because this is my first video I made on it, and I'm not that good at it right now, as you can see. But anyways, post your comments in the comments box below, like this video, and see you guys later. Bye.